Well, shooters and reloaders out there, Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to the hot lead zone. And you know, when we buy factory jacketed bullets, we're used to getting the advertised weight. So you see that Sierra 44 Magnum 180 grain jacketed hollow cavity bullet weighs 179.6. That's pretty close to 180. Pretty good. And so here's our Hornady XTP bullet, 180 grains, and it weighs in at 179.7. That's pretty good. Now this is important because when we load these bullets, especially when we start loading maximum loads, the bullet weight is accurate for the data that we're using. And that's important. And it's always been that way with commercial bullets. These are bullets from Quality Bullets, and they're moly-coated 158 grain 38 caliber round nose bullets, and they weigh in at 159.2. Pretty close. And here you see a Hornady Swedged 45 caliber 255 grain bullet, and it weighs in at 254, right on the button, and that's only off by 1 grain. That kind of accuracy is what we expect from factory or commercial bullets. However, we bullet casters cannot rely on the rated weight of any bullet mold because we tend to vary our alloy used for hardness reasons, and that causes variations in weight, sometimes a great variation. So for us casters, if our bullets are harder, then we tend to have lighter bullets because there's more antimony and tin in the mix. And if our bullets are softer, we've got more lead, less tin and antimony, and so our bullets wind up heavier. So we really do need to weigh our bullets. Let's go ahead and weigh these and see what kind of variation we get from the advertised 240 grain bullet that this Silhouette bullet is. There's our Silhouette bullet as cast, and instead of getting 240, we got 245.7 grains, and that's with a harder alloy, which means it's lighter than it could be. So what that means is if we were to cast that with a heavier alloy, it would even be heavier. So that's already 5.7 grains over advertised, just the raw bullet. So there's that same bullet, sized, lubed, and gas checked. And notice that we've got 256.8. So we've added an additional 11 grains to the weight of that bullet for a total of 16.7 grains over the 240 grain rated. And if we don't pay attention to this and use reloading data for 240 grain bullets, we're actually looking at 16.7 grains over. And that could have some pressure complications. So if you look at one of our powder coated and gas check bullets, that's right in the same neighborhood as a lubed gas check bullet. Both will add weight to our cast bullet significantly. So with our bullets, we actually need to add the weight of any gas checks, any lubes, any coatings, any fiber fill, any wads that are behind the bullet. All of that is part of the payload that is being pushed out the barrel and will affect the pressures of the powder charges we're using. So weigh it all together and it all counts. Well, it turns out that all of our reloading manuals give us some ranges that we can use because they know that our cast bullets can have variation. So for instance, here's 44 Remington Magnum, just for an example, 240 grain bullet. But if in case we're going a little heavier, there's data for 245, data for a 250 grain bullet, this kind of thing. So we've got data that will give us allowances for variations in bullet. The Lee reloading manual got the same thing. For example, the 44 Special gives us loads for a 240 grain lead bullet, 250 grain lead bullet, 267 grain lead bullet. So all this data is useful, and shooters and reloaders out there, take care. We'll see you next video. Bye for now.